Hello and welcome to HERU Yoga for the Blind. My name is Hannah and I will be speaking you through this short yoga session today. Before we get started though, please ensure that you have enough space around you to move or someone with you who can support you and your safety as you move through this practice. Make sure to wear something comfortable that you can move in without distraction. And today, you can actually keep your socks on if you like. But if you prefer to take them off, please feel free to do so. Today's session is a floor-based sequence for period pains. So things you might need are a yoga mat, a rolled-up blanket, and a cushion. Before you start, make sure to place the rolled-up blanket horizontally towards the top end of your yoga mat and leave a little bit of space for your head. Please do not use a blanket or a towel to put down as a replacement for your yoga mat, as it will make it too slippery and not allow you to grip the floor properly. Lastly, you know your own body best, and during a yoga practice you might experience some discomfort in certain poses. This can be an indicator that you might want to adjust the pose or use some props to support you, but it does not mean that you cannot practice this particular pose or even that yoga isn't for you. Should you, however, experience pain, please stop, ease off, or choose a different pose. Pain is never something you should work through. But now enough with the talking, let's get you started. Today, you will be starting by lying down on your back. But before you lie back though, if you want to practice with a rolled up blanket, just make sure that it's towards the top end of your mat and that it's lying parallel to the short edge of the mat. Then lie back and place your shoulder blades directly on top of the blanket. Bend both knees and step your feet as wide as the mat. If you do not have a mat, simply step the feet a little wider than hip width apart. Let your knees fall into the middle until your inner knees are touching. This way of placing your legs and knees will allow the lower back to release. So if you are struggling with lower back pain, either from prolonged sitting or because of period pain, this is a really good position to have in your toolkit. Now interlace your hands and place them behind your head. Gently lengthen the crown of the head towards the end of the mat and feel the space of the back of the neck that you've created. Then place the head back on the mat. Open your lips ever so slightly to relax your jaw. Today, place your hands gently on your lower abdomen. Now, even with little to no vision, please allow your eyes to close here during this centering section of the class to bring the awareness inwards. Then take a deep breath in and a big clearing sigh out, letting go of any build-up tension in your body. One more time, take a deep breath in and then a big clearing sigh out. Then let your breath settle in a calm and mindful yet deep breathing pattern. Allow your breath to travel deep into the bottom of the lungs and visualize how the breath flows right into your lower tummy here. You inhale, your navel lifts. You exhale, your navel lowers. Inhale, you feel the expansion of your belly. Exhale, feel the softening of your tummy. Continue with a steady, deep and mindful breathing here. As you do this, take note of how your body and your mind are feeling right now. Your body might feel slightly sluggish, fatigued, and maybe even tight in places. Maybe your mind feels foggy or busy or both at the same time. Simply notice and acknowledge where you are at right now, honoring this time of the month and how your body is reacting to it. Remember, when we step on our mat and move, let's encounter each moment with plenty of curiosity, but never with judgment. And during this time of the month, this is even more important. It's a time to allow your body and your mind to be soothed. As you will be moving through the rest of this practice, I invite you to closely follow where your breath is taking you today. To slow down, listen to your body's needs, and to be gentle. Today is not about pushing to your edge, but about gently moving your body with intent and softness. Now, on your next inhale, reach your right arm behind you and come to lie down on your right side. Take a moment here to prepare yourself mentally for the moving part of this class. Place your left hand on the floor in front of you and press yourself up into an upright position. Grab your rolled up blanket or your cushion if it's close and sit on top of it. Today, instead of sitting cross-legged, bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall to the side. Right knee to the right side, left knee to the left side. Here, you don't want to have your feet too close to you, but rather comfortably more forwards to create space for this butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. As usual, create more space in the lower back. Grab your left thigh with both hands, roll it in, take it back, and then place it down. Repeat it on the other side. Grab your left thigh with both hands, roll your thigh in, take the thigh bone back in space, and then plant it down. Now inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky and bring the palms of the hands together. Exhale, bring the hands down through the middle and let them rest in front of your heart. Repeat this 2 more times. You inhale, your arms sweep to the sky. Exhale, hands in prayer in front of your heart. Last one. Inhale, arms sweep to the sky. Hands in prayer in front of your heart. And then release both hands down on the knees or thighs with your palms down. If you had your eyes still closed, you may now gently open them again. Now as you sit up, root your sitting bones even firmer into the floor. Your crown of the head floats towards the sky, so you're creating space for your belly. Now, in coordination with your breath, draw circles with your upper body. You are leading from your heart. Inhale, your heart moves forwards and to the side. Exhale, bring the back of the heart back. Inhale, you move forwards and around. Exhale, you move back and around. The movement really sits on top of your sitting bones, almost as if you're rotating on top of them. You can imagine the crown of the head drawing a big circle on your ceiling here. So you inhale, you circle forwards, exhale, you circle backwards. Then reverse the circles, moving again mindfully with your breath. Here you can also play with the size of the circles. However, as you do this, make sure that both sitting bones are constantly rooting down. Take a few more breaths here and a few more circles. Inhale, you circle forwards. Exhale, you circle back. One more round, circle forwards. Exhale, circle backwards. Then bring your upper body back to center. Then come off of the pillow and your blanket and onto all fours. Place the blanket or the pillow to the side, but keep them close as you will be needing them again shortly. Place your hands roughly shoulder width apart and a little bit in front of your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, claw the fingertips back, rooting the knuckles and the base of the palm into the floor. Your knees are roughly hip width apart and behind the hips. If you have tender knees, you can double up your mat or place the blanket underneath them. Now very gently, pull your navel back to your spine just to get a little bit of integration for your pelvis. Keep your lower abdomen gently activated. Inhale, pull your heart forwards and upwards. Tilt your pelvis forwards, sitting bones move towards the ceiling. Feel that broadening of the back body. Feel your spine lifting on both opposite ends to the ceiling. Exhale, press the hands firmly into the ground, dome your spine to the ceiling. Feel your head and your tailbone moving towards each other, creating space in the spine. Repeat this cat-cow movement in your timing by using the breath as an indicator for your movement. You expand and lengthen the spine as you inhale, cow. You contract and round your spine as you exhale, cat. Inhale, you expand. Exhale, you contract. Inhale, feel the length in the front body. Exhale, feel the space in the back body. And then come back into a neutral spine. Bring your toes together and open your knees roughly as wide as the mat. This next part, you will come back to the idea of circles. This time, circling your hips, and the movement will travel up through your spine. Now here you can be as wild or as small in your movement as you wish. The only guideline here is to expand as you inhale and to contract and soften as you exhale. Inhale, you expand, and exhale, you contract. Take a few rounds in this direction, and if you come across a spot that feels particularly tight or like it needs some loving attention, feel free to stay there and gently rock back and forth over this spot. Inhale, expand. Exhale, you contract. And then change the directions of the circles. Take note of how this feels. Maybe it feels different. Maybe it doesn't. Stay with your breath and use the inhale to expand, the exhale to contract. One more time, you can choose how big or small you want this movement to be. And if you find a particular spot that feels tight or where you feel like you're holding tension, you can stay there and gently rock back and forth over it. Take a few moments on this side. Inhale, feel the expansion. Exhale, feel the contraction. Inhale, you expand. Exhale, you contract. On your next inhale, bring yourself back onto all fours. Knees and feet parallel towards one another and hip-width apart. Now take your rolled up blanket or the cushion and place it between your hands and knees on the mat so that it will be roughly underneath your tummy. If you do not have a blanket, don't worry, you can also do this next part without it. Exhale, shift your weight forwards onto your hands, lift your feet off the ground, slide your elbows alongside your upper body and come to lie on your tummy. Ideally, the rolled up blanket or cushion is now directly under your lower tummy. If it is not, then take your time to adjust it or to adjust yourself so that it hits just that right spot where you might experience some cramps. Bring your hands underneath your forehead here and take a few moments simply lying down, surrendering into the earth. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Bring the breath right down into your lower tummy. Slow down. Let go. Allow your muscles to soften into the blanket beneath you. Then gently shake your legs out, allowing your body to shimmy gently from side to side. Soften your muscles here. Allow the shake to travel through the whole of your body. Then on your next inhale, bring your hands under your shoulders and press back up into a tabletop position. Exhale, shift your weight back to your heels. Then swing your legs around and come to sit. Take your blanket or your pillow once more and sit on top of it. Open your legs out to the side and create roughly a 90-degree angle here. This is really just a rough guide. You can open them a little wider or a little less. It really depends on how you feel today. This should be a comfortable open position. As you did before, in your seated position, roll your right thigh in and back, then roll your left thigh in and back. Drop both sitting bones into the floor and reach the crown of the head to the sky. Place now both hands and fingertips behind you. Roll your shoulders back and lift your heart. Create length in your spine. Then keep that length that you created, but as you exhale, lean diagonally forwards by hinging from your hips. As you do this, move your hands forwards and underneath your shoulder. Hands remain on fingertips. Heart pulls forwards, shoulders roll back. Wide angle seated forward fold. Upavista Konasana. Here, it is not about simply collapsing forward, but about creating a diagonal lean forwards with your upper body. It is about creating space. Inhale, you lift, shoulders roll back. Exhale, lean a little bit more forward, always rooting through your sitting bones into the floor. Inhale, roll your shoulders back more. Feel like someone's pulling you forward at the heart. And exhale, with that feeling, bow gently forwards. Lean a little bit more forwards. One last time. Inhale, create length in the side body. Exhale, lean just that little bit more forwards without losing the length in your spine. Then come back into an upright position. Stretch your legs out in front of you and shake them out. Then come off of your blanket, place it to the side but keep it close. Bend both knees, place your hands on the floor beside you and slowly roll down until you come to lie on your back. Then as you exhale, lengthen your right leg forwards, flex your foot, press the heel into the ground. Inhale, press your left foot firmly into the floor so that you can lift your pelvis slightly off the ground. Now move your pelvis to the left and then place it down onto the mat. Exhale, cross your left bent leg over your long right leg. Your right leg will also slightly roll onto the outer side here of the leg. That's fine. Your arms can either be stretched out fully on shoulder height to the side, or you can bend the elbows here with the palms looking up towards the ceiling. In this twist, you do not need to worry about whether your left knee is touching the floor. It is all about the shoulders remaining rooted into the floor beneath you. If you'd like a little bit of support, you can grab your blanket and place it underneath your bent knee so that you can release into it. This is a supine spinal twist, or also called Supta Matsyendrasana. Remain in this position for a few breaths and refrain from pushing the knee down with force. Simply allow time and gravity to do the work here. Soften in this position. And notice if you have the tendency to grip or hold here unnecessarily. Relax your jaw, root your shoulders into the floor, but allow this to be a passive pose. Then, on your next inhale, feel how your navel gently pulls back. Bring your pelvis back onto the mat until you lie back on your back. Other side. On your next exhale, lengthen your left leg. Inhale, press your right foot into the floor, lift your pelvis off the ground and move it to the right. Then as you exhale, bring your right bent knee over your left leg to the side. Your left leg, the long one, allow it to roll slightly on its outer side. Your arms can either be stretched out fully or bend on shoulder height. Your shoulders remain firmly rooted into the floor. And for that extra bit of support, you can grab your blanket and place it underneath your bent knee so that it can release into it. Remain in this position for a few breaths and refrain from pushing the knee down with force. Remember, it's a moment of undoing, surrendering. It's a moment of softening and letting go. Take one more deep breath here in this position. Simply allow time and gravity to do the work here. Then on your next inhale, bring your pelvis back onto the mat and come back onto your back. Time for one last pose before your well-deserved Shavasana. For this supine butterfly, your Supta Baddha Konasana, grab your rolled up blanket one last time and sit up for a short moment. Place your soles of the feet together and let your knees fall open again. Right knee to the right, left knee to the left. Take your rolled up blanket and place it on top of your arches. Then wrap it around the ankles. That way you build a little support for your ankles so that they don't collapse. This will also help to release your front hip flexors as they like to hold on tight in this position, especially if it's that time of the month. Once you have cushioned up your ankles, come to lie back on your back, and if you like, you can already close your eyes. Bring your hands back on your lower tummy and guide your breath into that direction. Take a few deep and mindful breaths here. Breathe in for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4. Gently and softly. Breathe in for a count of 4, and you breathe out for a count of 4. Repeat this a few times, and if your mind wanders off or you are distracted, simply restart. You breathe in for 4, you breathe out for 4. Breathe in deeply, breathe out softly. Breathe in for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4. Then come back to your natural breathing pattern. You can now either stay in this position for your Shavasana, for your relaxation, or you can change into the traditional form of Shavasana. If you'd like to go to a traditional Shavasana, take the feet out of the blanket and stretch them out in front of you. Have the feet slightly wider than your hips. You can now either remove the blanket and place it to the side, or you can bring the blanket underneath your knees for comfort. If you have a tight lower back, try putting the folded or rolled up blanket underneath your calves instead. Or you can come back to the position that we did at the beginning with the feet as wide as the mat and the knees falling in. Your hands are right and left on hip height, but a little wider than the yoga mat. Your palms are open and facing the ceiling. This will allow your shoulders to roll back just a little bit more. Now, if your eyes are not already closed, even with little to no vision, allow your upper eyelids to rest and for your focus to turn inwards. Relax your jaw and your shoulders. Feel your legs, arms, head, pelvis become heavy. Your breath is even, calm and steady. Feel the floor supporting you and your body. Your navel rises as you inhale. It softens as you exhale. Feel the broadening of the back body as you're breathing in. Feel the softening of the body as you exhale. Allow your belly to soften and expand with ease. Allow the tension that you might still hold in your body to melt into the floor beneath you. Take a moment to honor how amazing your body is and what it is doing for you, not only today, but every day. And remember, here you are safe. Here you can now fully relax. Allow your muscles to soften and your mind to come to stillness. And as you allow your body and your mind to drift off for the next few moments of silence, when it is time to come out of this relaxation, you will hear 3 gong sounds. I will then guide you gently and safely out of your Shavasana. But for now, you may simply let go. Now, without moving your body or eyelids, slowly bring your awareness back to the room that you're in, to the smell and the sounds around you, the temperature of the room. Then wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Slowly move your head from side to side. Then bend both knees. Firmly place the feet on the mat. Inhale. Reach your right arm behind you. Maybe even take a bit of a stretch. Then come to lie on your right side. Take a moment here. Place your left hand on the floor, and on your inhale, press yourself back up into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Inhale, float both arms towards the ceiling and gather your hands in front of your heart as you exhale. Now finish this practice with a few silent words of gratitude. Let's say thank you to our body. Thank you for carrying me through this practice, for supporting me and my loved ones throughout this day, and for always giving me a home, no matter what. With love and respect, thank you for practicing with me today.